I buy it again? Okay, folks, welcome back. We haven't done a video in quite a while, and I am taking a run to the store. We're going to take a little side detour through town just for the giggles while I talk, because you can't really talk on the highway. We should talk about the bike, because, the bike, and we haven't done it. Style-wise, I don't know that I like it better, but performance, it fits my needs more appropriately. It is happier on the highway at the high speeds, which, I mean, it's not high speed for a sport bike, but like just the higher highway speeds we actually do around here. This is the more appropriate bike. It is comfy at lower speeds, I don't think as comfy. Like, I'm in first gear, it's fine. It's if anything too low. Oof, that was my neck snapping. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I could hear that. So the gear ratios are a lot more appropriate. The power level is a lot more appropriate for how I ride. Handling is fine. I don't think this bike handles particularly, there's nothing special about the handling. It isn't particularly flicky. It isn't particularly agile. It isn't particularly stable. It just is. Which, to be fair, is kind of what they wrote it as. Maybe not in the advertising material itself, but in the classification of where it fits in the lineup. This is not a high-performance machine. This is kind of the, entry-level, decent power. Now, I have the non-ABS one, and it's a lightweight bike. You can slide that rear tire whenever you damn well please. You push that brake pedal down, anything other than gently, it goes. But that's true of a lot of bikes. I think it's just particularly true in the case of this one because it has good brakes. That is something that I'm a real fan of. Yes, they don't have ABS, but as long as you do your job and you're not stupid about it, they work really well. They have a lot of power. No issues there. I like having more front brake power than I had. That is certainly a nice thing to have. And I'm liking the power level. I'm liking the extra get up and go. I don't need a ton of power. I'm not, we've talked about that. I'm not a big vroom vroom, go fast kind of guy. Third gear does anywhere between, 30 here comfortably. I'm not in my power band quite yet, but it's close enough. To over 75. Very handy. If you want to get on the highway and you want to go, until you are on the highway at speed, you do not have to shift from pre-on-ramp. Let's just pull over to the right-hand lane and not go fast because I can talk if I'm not going fast. So, honestly, I don't know that the wind protection is that much better. It protects my torso a little more. I don't know if my legs really have any more protection. My arms and shoulders certainly do not. The wind bubble that it creates does not extend to them. So we will see as the weather gets bad how I feel about it. Obviously, it's not going to be any worse than my other bike. The windshield is coming up about the same height. It is definitely got more wind protection side to side. So it's not going to be worse. I'm just wondering how much better it will be comfort-wise in the cold. So we talked about brakes, we talked about gearing, we talked about the power. Seating comfort, I've definitely gotten used to it. I kind of like this a little more leaning forward. I think this is probably about as far as I would want to go. I think if I was leaning more forward, this Jeep go by me or G-Wagon, whatever the hell it is. But I'm not minding it at all. I was a little concerned when I first got the bike. Wow. Now it's just a G-Wagon, a matte wrapped AMG G63 with the most city tires I've ever seen. And it looks like it's actually lowered. You guys tell me, is that lowered? Is that more citied than stock? Or is it just that it's got lower profile tires? Now look, we have two Mercedes in front of us and a BMW coming the other way. How to know you live in Bernie? And I think it's a cop car behind you. Mr. G-Wagon is probably going to the grocery store. Same as me. Ooh, Mr. G-Wagon, that was rude. Don't you do it. But loving the bike. Really happy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the pain in the ass of having the bike stolen was not fun. But the end result was that I got the new bike way sooner than I would have, and probably at less loss, which sounds crazy, but you know, the insurance gave me more than I would have gotten as my trade-in. The money I spent in between, you know, it kind of evened out. So I think that I probably came out a little ahead on the upgrade. I don't know for sure about that. I have not run the numbers directly, but just guesstimating, I may have actually come out ahead on the upgrade. I just wouldn't have upgraded yet. I mean, I was considering it. I mean, it might have been another year. It might have been, I mean, earliest maybe would have been March, April. I would have done the winter on the old Honda. I certainly would not have upgraded now, because I just put new tires on the Honda. Like, I wanted to at least go through a winter with those tires. I had done kind of a winter with them, but yeah, it would have been nice to really put some wear and tear on the tires I just put on. But if you're going to lose a bike, at least it didn't end up costing me a ton of money. Total, I would say I was out almost $3,000, almost. And a big chunk of that was the upgrade on the bike, and then Ubers and other miscellaneous costs. Ubers probably came to a little over $1,000. Miscellaneous stuff related to it, a few more $100, and then look, the bike is $5,000 plus all the fees. So I think by the time I was done, taxes and title and registration, all that jazz, I think I was at like, I don't even remember now, 6,200, 6,400, somewhere like that. And they gave me with keep this fair, with the accessories, because I had that coverage too, they gave me 55 for the Honda. So, right? Like, it's hard to be too broken up about that. I didn't want to spend the money. I would have been happier just keeping my Honda. I'm not upset about it. I'm loving the bike. It gets comments. Not lately, but it does get comments. And it's entertaining because I get comments from women, from teenagers up through, 70 and 80 years old. Positive comments. I was not expecting that. I was expecting it to be just guys. Way more women commenting than I ever expected. To me, this is like Boy Racer Junior kind of bike. Like, geez, look at me. But on the other hand, it's a good machine. It doesn't look bad. It's just, to me, it's a little flashy. I didn't think women would have a positive impression. It just didn't matter to me one way or the other. It wasn't something I was worried about. So, I'm going to get groceries, and maybe I'll talk to you on the ride back. If not, thanks for watching. We will have other videos. I haven't done anything special with the bike yet. I have done an oil change, done some clean and lube for the chain. We are at, oops, that's the wrong one. No, it isn't. We are at 1,400 miles. So I am due for another, like, real chain maintenance in another couple hundred miles. I just did it at about 1,000. Wow, look at that. Very nice Porsche Spider. Or, I mean, Ferrari Spider. We are back. Got my groceries, spent way too much money. Bought a nice bottle of wine. A bunch of stuff for a nice meal. So yeah, I am really liking the bike. I think that this is a good engine in terms of power band, power level for normal riding. Now, obviously, if you are a speed demon, or if you're trying to keep up on the highway with your buddies on 600s, you know, or out in the mountains, maybe not. Maybe not. It is not that kind of engine. This is not an MT-07. It isn't quite that rowdy. But certainly, you know, if your goal was to ride with your buddies who have, you know, MT-07s, Trident 660s, you know, things in that category, power-wise, you know, an SV650, sure. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Are you going to be more on the throttle than they are? Sure. But they're riding at you know, 60 or 70% realistically of their, not their capacity, of the engine capacity. And you're riding at 75 or 80. You know, you're routinely getting up there into the 8,000 or 9,000 RPM range. If your buddies are pushing harder than that, that's not a group ride you want to be part of. I got to be honest. It really, if you're in a group ride and they're pushing harder than this bike can comfortably do, that's not a group ride. That's a bunch of people pretending they're racers. That's a different thing, and probably not something you should be doing. I mean, like I'm not your dad. I'm not the cops. But like, that's the kind of thing that's to be reserved for a racehorse. It's kind of that simple in my opinion. If that's what you're doing, take you to a race course. That's what they're there for. You are endangering other people. I don't care about you. You are responsible for you. If you're going to do it, don't endanger everybody else around you. Ride into a headwind. It certainly creates a lot of noise. Would I buy it again? Like, win. Would I buy it again? Just, you know, no insurance bullshit, no stolen bike. Like, if I was buying a bike now, starting fresh, and as I am now, not beginner, we're not going backwards here. Just if you gave me all my money back, all of it, and said, what are you gonna buy? Knowing what I know, like not retroactive. We're literally going, you've ridden this bike for 3 months. 2 months? 2 months. I would probably do it again. I don't think there's anything else out there new. I mean, obviously, used just depends on what you find. A buddy of mine just got a early 48, a Sportster 48. Very nice, like rare paint job, reasonable modifications, low miles, for a very good price. But that kind of thing aside, if you're trying to just, I want to go buy a bike today, I think this is hard to beat. Price to performance to quality, it's hard to beat. Now, if you spend $1,000 more, there are some other options that I think are good, but $1,000 is significant at this scale. That's what, 15%? If you're calling it 6,500, 6,400, I got a deal. So, but I assume you're going to get a deal. So call it 15%. That's not my own. Would I spend the money, or would I go, hey, I'm going to spend that money on a helmet. I'm going to spend that money on a new jacket and boots, right? Because if I was doing it over, I could use a new jacket and boots. Would I put the money into the bike, or would I put the money into the jacket and boots? And honestly, I think I would buy this and the new jacket and boots. Anyway, take care, have fun, stay safe, everybody. I'll talk to you later.